It's 0300 hours, June 6, 1944, in a concrete bunker high above the sands of Normandy. German artillery officer scans an empty horizon. His name is Major Werner Pluskat. His orders are simple. Stop the enemy on the beach. If they break through here, the road to Parisand, the heart of Europe, lies open. For months, he's seen nothing. But tonight, the air feels different. Welcome back to the deep dive. We often hear the story of D-Day from the perspective of the soldiers hitting the beaches. But today, we're looking through the opposite end of the telescope. We're inside the German defenses at Omaha Beach, witnessing the largest seaborne invasion in history unfold from the vantage point of the man tasked with stopping it. This is the story of the desperate defense of the Atlantic Wall. Major Pluskat commanded the coastal artillery of the 352nd Infantry Division. His world was a maze of reinforced concrete, 155mm guns, and interlocking fields of fire. Below his position, the beach was sown with naval mines and cruel steel obstacles. Everything was prepared. The only enemy was the agonizing wait. Then, at 0200 hours, a new sound. A distant mechanical thunder rolling across the English Channel. The sky to the north erupted. The air invasion had begun. Thousands of Allied paratroopers were descending behind his lines, cutting roads, seizing bridges. The battle for Normandy had already started. It was happening behind his guns. As a pale dawn broke at 0530, Pluskat returned to his scope. What he saw would haunt him forever. Ships. Not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands. The entire horizon, from edge to edge, was a solid mass of Allied warships and transports, an armada of unimaginable scale. Imagine that moment. The sheer psychological impact. This wasn't just an attack. It was the overwhelming weight of the industrial world bearing down on a single coastline. Pluskat later said he knew, in that instant, the war was lost. His report to headquarters was cut short. The world exploded. The first salvos from Allied battleships tore into the bluffs with earth-shattering force. For every shell his guns fired, 50 returned. At 0630, the landing craft appeared. Hundreds of them, churning toward Omaha Beach. Pluskat's guns roared to life, joined by a murderous crossfire of machine guns from the cliffs. The first American soldiers waded into a nightmare chest-deep water, raked by fire, obstacles blocking their path. The beach descended into chaos. Wreckage piled up. Craft burned. From his perch, Pluskat saw men pinned behind a seawall. For a moment, the defense seemed to be working. But the waves of landing craft never stopped. And a critical problem emerged. His artillery was running out of shells. By 0730, Pluskat was counting his remaining ammunition. The Allied naval gunners, now guided by spotters on the beach, found their range with terrifying accuracy. A direct hit shattered his observation scope and cracked his bunker's concrete. One by one, his artillery positions were silenced, destroyed, or out of shells. This is the turning point. Small, isolated groups of American infantry, against all odds, began to fight their way up the draws in the bluffs. Using grenades and sheer tenacity, they started to bypass and disable strongpoints. The monolithic defense was being broken into small, isolated battles, and the Germans were losing them. By 0845, Pluskat's last gun fell silent. Ammunition exhausted. He looked down at a beach now swarming with men, vehicles, and supplies flowing inland. The Atlantic Wall had been breached. Werner Pluskat survived the war. His account of watching that fleet appear at dawn became one of the most iconic German testimonies of D-Day, immortalized in Cornelius Ryan's book, The Longest Day. The 352nd Division suffered catastrophic losses, but in their fierce resistance at Omaha, they inflicted some of the heaviest Allied casualties of the day. The defense of Omaha Beach was the German military's most successful tactical stand on D-Day. But it was a failure in strategy. It wasn't enough. The story of Pluskat is a story of professional soldiers following orders to the limit of their ability, confronted by a scale of power they could not comprehend or contain. It reminds us that in history, overwhelming force, determination, and sacrifice can alter the course of the world in a single day. What do you think was the single most decisive factor that broke the Omaha Beach defenses? Let me know in the comments below. If you want another perspective on a day that changed a war, check out our video on the Battle of Midway here. Thanks for diving deep with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more untold stories from history.